Episode: Amanda and Tushar Get Married. We were able to attend my daughter Amanda's wedding in Santa Barbara, California, where she married her husband, Tushar Hedgay. We were traveling from Texas to California in our recreational vehicle RV, which we called the Dragon Wagon, because we loved dragons, and we dragged our 4 cats everywhere that we went inside the RV wagon. Like I said previously, the overcab area of our RV had been converted to an all-kitty area. There were 4 separate enclosed, safety-belted kitty condos, all in a row. There was a scratching pad and a scratching post, mini kitty tower, 2 open-area kitty beds, and thick kitty paw-friendly blankets, both to protect the RV from kitty messes and to give the cats traction should they ever move when we were in motion. Sure, it could have been called the kitty wagon, but Dragon Wagon just sounded cooler to me and Catherine. Well, as we drove the great distance from Texas to California, where my daughter was to be married, we were driving through a very hot desert. In the day, it was so hot, over 118 degrees Fahrenheit, that our generator failed. And immediately in response, our electrical inverter failed. It hard shut down to protect itself, apparently. The bottom line, without the generator working, we had no power for the RV's air conditioner. Without the inverter, we had no battery power to even run a fan or any device. The driver's front cab air conditioning is just too insufficient. It's not powerful enough to cool the full RV. The situation was dire. We tried to drive through the hot desert, but to no avail. The desert and its infernal heat just stretched on, seemingly forever. The cats were panting. They were just getting dangerously hot. As we drove, I placed ice and wet towels across the kitties, trying to cool them. The refrigerator, ironically, could run off propane, which was working. Our food and our ice were okay. The iced, watery towels were not cutting it, though. Not for long. Certainly not for the long haul. We had to find another solution. We had to cool ourselves and the cats off. We pulled off the freeway in the middle of the desert, well over 118 degrees Fahrenheit, hellish infernal heat. I had to try and fix the generator, or at least the inverter. I had an internet connection through my phone still, even in the middle of the desert. I researched possible problems and solutions for the inverter and the generator. The generator answer was not easy to find. The generator cannot reliably operate in environments over 115 degrees Fahrenheit. We had been driving in sustained 118 Fahrenheit heat. The generator was not going to work while we remained in the blazing desert. The inverter answer was also hard to find. It was harder to find, but I did find it. I verified things about the inverter. The normal reset did not work. Its circuit breaker was not thrown. Its master fuse was intact. The battery terminals were attached. I had an electrical multimeter in the RV, so I was measuring the voltage, and so I also verified the battery terminals had power. My research revealed that in extreme circumstances, when the inverter has no idea why something has gone catastrophically failing, it will execute a hard shutdown. And the only way to restart the inverter after a hard shutdown is to fully and completely remove all power to it for several minutes. It is not so easy to cut the power to an RV inverter because it is hardwired into 2 massive Caterpillar tractor batteries, and they are merged into the main RV standard house battery system. Yeah, it's not easy. I had a tool bag full of gadgets, gear, and tools in the back of the RV, which is where I had the multimeter. Like having the electrical multimeter, I also had a range of crescent wrenches, pliers, screwdrivers, and the like. I even had a battery terminal cleaner. Well, To reboot the inverter from its hard shutdown state, I had to disconnect the dual Caterpillar batteries with live power from the inverter to kill its power. Donning multiple layers of Costco rubber gloves, normally for cleaning, and wearing thick cloth leather tool gloves around them, I set to disconnect the battery terminals on the Caterpillar batteries that connected directly to the inverter, albeit through a huge 7-inch fuse. Arc, zap, electricity zapped from the crescent wrench to the battery terminal to the sides of the RV. I must have accidentally made a connection with the wrench to the RV, and power, electricity, arced all over. It was very scary. I was stressed. Adrenaline was pumping. It was insanely hot, and I had exerted myself a lot, bending over, doing all the work, leaning into the outside side cabinet of the RV where the inverter and one of the batteries were housed. I retreated to the RV where I collapsed onto the floor. My heart was racing so fast, so hard. I felt I could die. Obviously, here I am. I did not die. Catherine poured ice water on my forehead, as I had done for the cats. The RV's engine still ran, enabling the front cab's air conditioning to at least blow some cool air. With maybe 5 minutes of cooling in the insane heat within the RV, I resumed my effort to disconnect the battery and reset the inverter. I ventured back into the infernal heat, and with my second attempt, I managed to disconnect the Caterpillar battery from the inverter. And voila! The inverter was able to reset. The generator would not run, so we still had no air conditioning. But we did now have fans. They were lifesavers. Perhaps literally. With the cab air conditioning and our fans in the back, we got through the hell desert. We were back on the road. It was still hellishly hot, but we had fans and some front-based air conditioning. We endured. Another fast forward, we arrived at Amanda's wedding, but Amanda was stressed. A number of people had canceled at the last minute, and decorations were behind schedule. She had an injured foot following a recent surgery, making things even harder to do. So Catherine and I jumped into action. We offered to help wherever and however we could. I am sure that everyone speaks highly of their child's wedding, and so I will not consume time extolling how lovely or beautiful or picture perfect Amanda and Tushar's wedding was. So instead, I would like to share a standout moment for me at her wedding where I was able to speak. Here's what I had to say. Congratulations on your marriage, Amanda Seaborn and Tushar Hedgay. Make your love and marriage be always and forever. Some thoughts on keeping your marriage strong. Be unconditional, have no limits, have a forever bond, be selfless, and be loving and loyal, always and forever. Marriage is unconditional. We all make mistakes. We all disappoint. So plan on disappointment, frustration, and distress. Forgive yourself and your partner, for there is no room for resentment. Celebrate triumphs, accomplishments, and life milestones. And most of all, remain united as one, together, achieving greatness, always and forever. Marriage is without limits. Dreams and potential have no limits. Hearts and souls and minds are intertwined. Marriage is infinite imagination and potential. You are greater together. Marriage is inspiring, aspiring, and motivating. It is unbound with your soulmate, always and forever. Marriage is a forever bond. Make your marriage unbreakable. Share your goals and your dreams. Be ever compromising. Your partner should always get something too. Be compassionate and understanding. Assume good intent. Be unbreakable, always and forever. Marriage is selfless. Dreams and loyalty have no limits. Marriage is relentless giving, sacrificing. It is respectful. It is of shared resources and being one with your partner, always and forever. Marriage is loving and loyal, intangible, unwavering, eternal in commitment. Marriage is true love, unwavering, eternal, committed. It is unconditional, without limits. It is a forever bond, selfless, loving and loyal, always and forever. What I have seen: giving, sacrificing, supportive, caring for each other's interests, united in face of world instability, coping with inflation and threats to goals, endured the pandemic and all of its madness. Tushar has transited Amanda to her class and work appointments. And most of all, Tushar has shown to be chivalrous and a champion to Amanda. Tushar has empowered Amanda to pursue her lifelong dream of becoming a doctor and psychiatrist. I believe they will defend each other fiercely. I am confident they will make exemplary spouses for each other, always and forever. It was a privilege and an honor to attend and speak at my daughter Amanda and her now husband Tushar's wedding. In the end, I feel fortunate to have been able to see my daughter Amanda get married to her husband Tushar. There are certainly many parents that never see their children marry. And blessed to still be alive, I was able to see my daughter Amanda get married. Although we have experienced trials, tribulations, and troubles in our adventures, they have all been greatly appreciated. We strove to reject hell difficulty problems and just overcome them and focus on the opportunities for fun and enjoyment and success. We have celebrated every fun time and activity. They were highlights for our time together. And may many more fun adventures lay ahead for us in our future.